Good evening and welcome to THFC Till I Die Your Home. Let me start that again. Hello and welcome to THFC Till I Die Your Home. Tottenham past, present, and exciting future under Ange Postecoglou as we start to go on with the first of many instant post-match reactions to what we have just seen, and we are doing an instant post-match show to the Tottenham against Bayern Munich, and I have got the result wrong. For anyone starts saying anything, if you can spot
Dermo just came from an alternate dimension where Spurs beat Bayern Munich.
Yeah, we did. So with me tonight, of course, is my usual co-host Tequila, and of course the man who is our tech support. I think he's our Tony Stark of the.
Well, according to his name, he's put himself as a lazy goalkeeper, so that should tell you all.
Yeah. Well, he is. He's a lazy git, but he is the Tony Stark of THFC Till I Die world. Tequila, start with you. How are you this evening, sir?
I'm okay. I did watch the game. Obviously, I wasn't doing the watch along. I was kind of modding it in the chat and being a dick. Excuse my language. And banged into the microphone as well. I'm real professional right now. Yeah, it wasn't a bad game. We'll get into it. It wasn't a bad game. It's only one goal difference, and they're a bloody good team, aren't they? Let's be honest. So I'm all right other than that. How are you?
Not too bad. And Colin also, who joined us for the watch along. How are you this evening, Colin? Doncaster won. Man United lost. Bayern Munich won. It's been okay Saturday for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's not been too bad. It would have been better if I was not trying to fall asleep during that Bayern Munich game in the last 10 minutes, because oh my god, it was boring. But yeah, it's been a good weekend for me. I'm actually just happy to talk about football, and I'm really getting excited now for the start of the season.
So am I, and of course that is on Wednesday, I think, at 8:00, the pre Premier League show. So please watch out for that. Well, myself, Tequila. We'll have Philip Brady's predictions. We'll have Boris's predictions. I think Dave and Jack are going to come on as well. We're going to have a few guests come on as well. But these shows, Tequila, aren't they? These are for the Patreon members. So before we get into the chat and welcome people in, do you want to explain a little about what these shows are all about after every game? So do you want to tell people how can they join us? Because there's two ways of joining us, isn't there?
I'm going to put the link in a minute, and in case you didn't know, again, I'm going to put all this in the chat in a sec. But obviously we were demonetized a couple of months back. We think unfairly. We won't get too much into it, but we've done what they've kind of asked us to do to a certain degree, and we're going to appeal it. So hopefully we will get our channel memberships back, which I know like most of you guys seem to prefer. But in the meantime, any money you guys could throw our way via support of the Patreon would help us keep the lights on. And we have expanded a little bit. As you know, Boris has just joined us as well. So we are trying to expand, coming up with scheduling for the next year. And we're doing all these things behind the scenes. So any support would be grateful. I'm going to post the link in the chat in a sec. But yeah, what do they get, Dermo? Well, there's different tiers, but in the highest tier, they're going to get to come on and join us after every game, including the European games and all these games, Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. So, but pretty much every game we're going to be playing this year. And they'll get to discuss with us and tell the world and anyone watching what their views are. And we don't care if you're Levy in, Levy out, if you care about those terminologies. If you want to be brutal and you want to be scathing, then that's fine. If you want to be positive or negative, I don't think any of us really mind either. Well, you're free to say, within reason, of course, whatever you want and get your point across and stuff like that. So that's what you get from the highest tier. And then the lower tier is just your basic, obviously, support us to help us keep the lights on, as I just said. But yeah, Dermo, if you want to continue, and I will put the link in everything in the chat.
Yeah, and also join our Discord as well. If you don't want to come on camera, column as well, isn't there, column? Discord, we can come on, you come on a bit like a radio show, isn't it? So that's what we're trying to bring also with these new shows as well. So don't explain to people about that as well, so people do realise what they can do through Discord.
Yeah, so there is a Discord link you can join. We do have a channel in there where obviously news and everything will get posted. I mean, sometimes we're not able to come on. Something might get posted at 2 a.m. in the morning, and Dermo's drinking his cup of coffee to try and wake himself up to come on the show. But news will be posted in there as well. And it's completely free. You ain't going to pay anything to join Discord. But there is obviously sections. So if you are a member, a Patreon member, or when we get our channel membership back, a channel member, you'll see little subsections where obviously the higher tier you have, the more stuff you'll get. And if you are wanting to come on a show, we can do it through Discord, where we can just have your voice playing through. So it's just your voice, you know, you haven't got to worry about your appearance. So if you've just got in from a 2-day bender, for instance, and you're looking like, you know, the backside of a dog, you ain't got to worry about it. We can do it just with voice and still get you on the show that way. So it's entirely down to you guys. But yeah, do make sure to join the Discord if you can, and obviously the Patreon as well, because it really does help the channel grow. You get more things on see.
Yeah, I'm just quickly getting Angie's quotes up, because apparently Angie's quotes.
Demo, I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna welcome some people in to start with. That's
Yeah,
okay.
go ahead. You go and do that. Yeah.
Top of the list is good old Jazz Fusion, and he's written central defensive midfielder, 2 fullbacks, a left centre back, or come game 2, hide the women and children. I think what he means is that's what he thinks we need to bring in, or the game after Leicester, we're going to be in trouble, is what I think he means. If I'm wrong, Jazz, please let me know. Wayne Bonner saying, "Sup, peeps?" He didn't do his good morning or good afternoon thing. He said, "I'm not doing it." He look, Wayne, if you don't do it, then I'm not doing it.
And please get in touch with Tequila. He's waiting for you.
You still haven't responded to my email, bruv. Yeah.
Right.
Sup, peeps? Hope you're all well. A few good things to take from the game. Bergvall being the main one, I agree. Still don't think Kulu should have been subbed. Okay, we'll get into all that. Welcome Daniela as well, Daniela Zito. I enjoyed watching Orient more than Tottenham, and that says a lot. Defending from set pieces is atrocious, and Vicario 2 games straight with mistakes and needs to fix up. We were so average in midfield. Okay. Wayne again saying, and don't get me started on playing out from the back. Grrr. What's the points in the house? How we doing, bruv? Lots of love. Milton. Oh, God. Milton Nabriga. If I've got that wrong, apologies. Afternoon, all. Hope every one of you are all well. It's 5:40 a.m. Sunday morning, Australia. Thanks for joining us so early, bruv. I would still be asleep. Sorry, I've screwed up a little bit there. One sec. This is me posting that. What an idiot he is. Another idiot there. What's the point? FC saying highlight of the game was when the whistle blew, and then.
Oh God.
Normally I'd read that out, but there's some kind of weird 10-minute rule of YouTube, so I actually won't read that part. If it was later on in the show, I would. Full-time Sport Network, yeah, that's the link for the Patreon if anyone wants to throw some dollars. Daniel Azizo is also saying, Demo and Tequila, did you see Angie's quotes? That's what Demo's bringing up. But then
I
again,
can't find them.
Oh, okay. Well, if you can,
if somebody, hang on,
I'll have a look.
Yeah, if you can have a look.
But then again, the guy contradicts himself so much, and he's talking himself into hot water. I agree to a certain extent, Daniel, about that. I said that when he said those things last year. Milton also saying set pieces are still massive issues. Big Vic can't play from the back. He's better off booting the ball up the pitch forward. Didn't we just have a keeper in Lloris who couldn't play out from the back?
Yeah.
Rosie, big up Rosie. Smash the like and sub. Yes, please. Just Fusion. That is what he means. Good old is a good call. Yeah. Wayne in the house saying, like to teach people by making them wait. Yeah. Yeah, we always do. Milton saying again, you pronounce my surname correctly. Wow. Okay. I've been at work since 3:30 a.m. Are you doing the night shift, bruv? Yeah. Well, we'll try to entertain you as you continue it. And what's the point? It's also saying, don't worry, I guarantee you that the YouTube police make.
Yeah.
You would think so. Yes. That's up to date now, Demo. It's all you.
Yeah. Right. Now, listen, it is pre-season, and I suppose with the game now on Monday, against Leicester, let's get into this. Let me bring up the first half team. That was the team that started off. Just let me can I bring that up? I can. There we go. that is the team. So the team started with Vicario, Porro, Jagjusen, Davis, Spence, Saab, Zuma, Madison, Johnson, Kulu, and Sonny. Kulu, of course, was playing down the middle. We had a great start. Went 1-0 up with Kulu scoring, and then we fell apart. Tequila, you first. What out of 10? What would you give the back four in that? Because I felt Ben Davies was didn't play well. Jed Spence didn't cover himself in much glory. I thought Rudu was good in parts. But Basuma, for me, he was woeful again. So where do you go? How many of them start against Leicester?
One. Well, out of the back four, one. Basuma probably does as well. But as soon as we saw, before the match started, when we were all talking, as soon as we saw Davies there, I think the alarm bells went up a little bit. We're like, okay, so unless there's an injury we don't know about to one of our better centre backs, then he will not be starting, God forbid, against Leicester. So it was weird that he was included. I thought that was a weird decision, unless Ange sees something that we don't in training, which in his mind is he thinks Davies is going to be capable of being the fourth choice. I think that we all think that's insanity. But we've been watching Spurs and we've been watching Davies a lot longer probably than Ange has. So unless Ange has seen something in training, and I hope he hasn't, Davies shouldn't be anywhere near starting, and probably I'm not even sure should be on a subs bench. I think he should be somebody who maybe makes a sub bench once we've got an injury somewhere or sending off or something. Yeah. So that was a warning sign. But to answer your question, sorry. Only Porro starts. Dragusin doesn't start either. That's the truth. So the first half, you got Vicario obviously will start, and you've got Porro will start. So one player out of four. Is that the reason why we let in those goals? Didn't help, did it? Didn't help. We looked a lot more solid once Van de Ven and Romero came on, as you would expect.
Yeah, we did. We did look a lot more solid. And with Destiny as well coming on and the normal back five, I think Vicario looked a bit more comfortable with the people in front of him. I think Rudu and Davies, he didn't look comfortable with them at all. I think Basuma, Colin was saying it out the show, weren't you, Colin, about Vicario playing out from the back. That's what Ange wants. That's what Ange expects from his teams. And you were very much defending Vicario in that. And why were you so defending him? Was it because of the goalkeepers union? Or do you really think that, look, it wasn't his fault. It was more Basuma's fault. Where there's a few people like Milton did say in here, I don't know where he is, he said set pieces are still a massive issue, which they are. We're going to get onto that in a minute. But Big Vic can't play out from the back. He's better off booting the ball up the pitch forward. What would you say to that?
I mean, you can't just... It's a difficult one because obviously Ange's system is playing out from the back. This is what Ange wants to do. Now, you've brought in a goalkeeper that does seem to be struggling a little bit. It will come eventually, you know. It takes time and everything. And yes, he's been there a year, but Ange is really trying to get it now, so you are playing out from the back. See, I mean, you could say I defended Vicario because of the goalkeepers union, which is slightly, I would say it's slightly the case. But I have been in Vicario's situation. You know, I've played as a goalkeeper. I've played from out of the back. And as I was making the point in the watch long as well, when I was having that little debate with Philip about it, you know, Vicario's looking where this ball is coming to him from. The last thing you want to do is take your eye off the ball and it roll past you, and then you look like a complete fool. I've had it done to me. It's not very nice. So he's keeping his eye on this ball, and Basuma, I'm sure it was Basuma, has called for the ball. So you can't blame Vicario for playing that ball into the player that's calling it, because he hasn't managed to have the time to look up and see. When he has looked up the first time, he's in space. So Basuma, for me, is to take the majority of the blame, because he should have more spatial awareness about him to realise, right, the space that I'm in and I've called for is no longer there now. So I need to be able to tell my goalkeeper I can't receive the ball anymore. But he didn't. He came charging in, even though he knew he was getting closed down, still shouting for the ball. So Vicario hasn't seen that. And yes, I'm not taking the entire blame off Vicario because, yes, he probably should have looked up as the ball arrived to him to make sure the space was still there. But he's a young goalkeeper. He's still learning. So I can't put all the blame on Vicario. Yes, he is to blame for a little bit, but I think Basuma actually calling for the ball originally and continuing, even though, like I said, he knows he hasn't got that space anymore, was the majority factor there.
I agree with you, but I think Basuma was very poor in that game in the first half. I thought he was pushed. I think Boris said during the watch along day he was pushed off the ball more than once, quite easily. And Tequila knows this. I've been saying this for quite consistently for quite a while now, that he has not been the same player since he got sent off for Luton early in the last season. And for whatever reason, does he believe his own hype? Is he not fit now? What is it?
He's not a 6. Technically, he's being played out. He's not a 6. He's an 8. He's an 8, and I don't know. And as Jazz Fusion put at the start, we do need to buy that defensive midfielder, and we haven't yet. So we do need to buy one.
So what I would do is, and what Romero does for Argentina, you pay Romero in that 6.
But then you're losing a very solid centre-back partnership.
Yeah. That's
because look, I'm not being funny. I'm not being funny, right? If you move Romero to CDM and you have a partnership of Van der Ven and Dragusin, everyone's going to target Dragusin, especially after today's performance.
Oh God,
he's a big guy and he bullies people, but he just got absolutely bullied today, and he looked like he didn't have an answer for it either, which is really, really strange. I know obviously he's not been there very long and he's still bedding himself in and stuff, but bedding yourself in and not being there very long is not an excuse for you not throwing your weight about a bit.
Then, sorry about the noise in the background. Then the question is, as Boris rightly said, was it his chance to get ahead of Romero and Van der Ven, which Philip said no, but Boris very much, this was his chance. Where do you put that? Why is he was so good in the Euros? And is it because he's not match fit yet? Where do you put it? Because he was very poor today, and I thought the whole back line was poor. Vicario seemed to me he didn't trust what was in front of him.
I would say, do you blame him that much? Because he had, other than Porro, he's not used to the other 3. He's got Spence, who he's not a left back. I mean, I'm not saying that he's not a left back. He's a right back. He's a right back. So he's out of position as well. You might say, oh, it's not the same thing. It might not be miles and miles different, right? He's not playing the other length of the pitch, but he's not technically. He's a right back. He's been trained to be a right back. And Ben Davies, we know, is not a very particularly good player anymore. He hasn't been for a while, right? And then you've got Dragusin, who, to be honest, hasn't had much game time. So if you're Vicario, you look at those 4 players, other than Porro, do you have that much trust? Really?
I'd have more trust in Romero and Van der Ven than I would.
Well, of course you would.
This is that's the thing, though. Last season, your partnership last season, obviously excluding the left back, right back, was obviously Van der Ven when he was fit and available to play, and Romero, and Vicario was sat there. So that partnership's already built. He knows what they're going to do. He knows what they can do, what they can't do. Whereas with Dragusin and Davis, I mean, I don't know why Davis is playing centre back anyway, because he's never been a centre back in his life. You know,
no, and especially in the back 2 com. You might say that you might be able to get away with it in a back 3 on the left hand side of a back 3, but in a back 2,
he's not even that Tequila.
I'm kind of playing the left.
Even a back 3.
Yeah, because if he's playing a back 3, it's similar, not the same, but it's similar to playing left back kind of thing. So, and that's his usual kind of position anyway. So it's not as bad. But playing centrally, it's completely different to playing at left back or right back.
Right. So here's my thoughts. Right. Okay. So we know Vicario's going to start on goal. Right. So you guys, what is your back 4 for Leicester?
I think you go with what we had last year. I think last year, I mean, we had, you got Van der Ven
Mm-hmm.
and Romero. You don't break that up, okay? Even though people say I know we shipped a lot of goals last year,
Yeah.
but that has a lot to do with the tactics rather than just those
Mm.
two. And left back, you got Ndoki, who is a very good left back and will only get better. And Pedro Porro, surprisingly, has become a very good right back when we thought he was going to struggle from being a right wing back. That's it. That doesn't need to be screwed with. That's the thing. We just need backup for those players. We don't need
And
to touch any of them.
And we haven't got them backups, have we? To be honest, if we're being brutally honest, I
Not
don't
really.
think
No.
we've got them backups.
No.
Um,
And what worries me, Dermo, is that Ange might see Ben Davies as that backup, and that worries me again.
That worries me as well. I mean, I know I get criticised for keeping on at Ben Davies, but for me, he's one of them deadwood players that he's a great club player. He does all the promotional stuff for you, but again, today he's not a player that fills me with much confidence if I see him playing.
He's third choice. He's a third choice left back and a third choice centre back. That's why he's in the club for that reason.
I was at the Brighton game last season and he was playing and he is so slow. I mean, the Brighton winger just killed him every time.
And we play and as you know, Dermo, we play a very high line. It's literally suicide.
We do play a high line, so you need quick play. We got a good, just a few quotes here before we get back to it. Big up to Hot God 10. Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone is okay. Big up to James. Hope you're doing well, sir. Davis was back three depth at a left centre back. He was. He played there with Mourinho and Conte and didn't do very well. We've got Jazz Fusion, Destiny, unsurprisingly rusty. Well, he was injured, so he's starting to come back from his injury. But I agree with Tequila and Colin. He will be. Sorry, Tequila, if you want to do the chat. Sorry.
No, it's all right, mate. It's all right. Daniela has. Yeah, it's just terminology, Daniela. When I say backup, I mean competition. It's just terminology. No, when I say backup, okay, so let's explain it very quickly. When I say backup, I just mean somebody who can rotate with Ndogi and challenge him. You don't want any player. No player should be too comfortable. And this was argued at Harry Kane as well, that he became too comfortable. No player should become too comfortable. And right now, I'd say that is a fair argument for a lot of our players, is that they don't have that competition.
It is, and that's what a squad's there. Squads for competition. You have to fight for your place, and you look at the Man United sides from over the years. You look at the Liverpool sides back in the 80s and 90s. What Klopp built, there was always 2 or 3 players for every position. That if a player didn't play well, there was somebody there to come in and take his place. You look at Ferguson with United all over the years. There was always 2 or 3 players for their positions. No player was saying this is your spot, and there was always a player to come in.
Even now, Dermo, I know United aren't that great at the minute, but even now, on the right wing position, we've got Garnacho, Ahmad, Sancho, Anthony. That's 4. And most of them can go on the left as well. And then you add Rashford into that. And then obviously, we haven't got much going in the centre attacking midfield, but now we've got Joshua Zirkzee and Rasmus Højlund. And at the back, we've got Martinez, we've got De Ligt now because he's signed, and we've got others. There's 3 or 4 players per position all fighting for that one place, and I think that's what Spurs need. And I'm just looking at, I was just looking at that team there. If you were going to play that team every single week, with Davis, Dragic, and everything, because you play. I mean, Ange loves her high line because she's so attacking.
Letting so many goals.
But it's because of how attacking you are. That's why. But when you've got the likes of Mickey van der Ven in there, it's not as bad because he's got unbelievable pace. He can track everybody. It doesn't really matter. But if you didn't have those players and you had them, a perfect signing for you would be Maguire, because you can't play a high line with that squad. No. You'd have to play deep. But again, you can't play a high line with that squad. Dragusin is quick, but I don't know what's going off with him. Davis has got no legs left in him at all, and you can't expect Porro and Spence to be doing all the work defensively. It's impossible.
And Spence was played out of position today. He's not a left back. And if you want to get the best out of these players, play them in the position where they're I would push Porro to a right wing and put Spence in the right wing back position, personally myself.
Yeah, but then
But the
who's the competition for Spence then? We've got to sign them. We've got to sign another right back then, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. And this is where I feel I've said it before. And look, I'd leave the transfer bit to a minute. I'll come back to that. But I just want to go quickly through the team. Papa Sarr, he didn't play too bad today. Basuma was woeful. Madison, what we saw from him, he was woeful as well. Johnson had a good first 10 minutes and then disappeared. Kulu, I think, was the better player at the front three because I thought Son was quiet today as well. I think Kulu probably was the better at the front three. And then in the second half, guys, we had big changes. Archie Gray came on, Bergville come on, and players Destiny come on. Bentancur came on as well. But as we saw, Bergville, I think, made a very big shout to start against Leicester on Monday ahead of Madison. I think, if I could think from the top of my head, any other players impressed you in the second half, Tequila?
I think I wouldn't say any new players. I think defensively we're more solid. I think Van de Ven and Romero were pretty good, as we know they can be. Other than that, Mikey Moore came on, didn't he? He was okay. I don't want I think I'm going to say that I think people were going way overboard with Mikey Moore. And when I say that, I don't mean your boy hasn't got talent, but I'm just scared that all this expectation on the poor. He's 16, isn't he?
Yeah, but
you've got to just slow your roll a little bit of patience. Yeah. I'm scared that if he comes in and has 3 or 4 bad games, his confidence is going to be shattered. He's going to get hackled from everyone. The kid's 16. I remember what I was like when I was 16. Jesus. You know what I mean?
Got talent, but I agree with you. I think we've got to be careful, and that's what Ferguson was so good with the kids at United. He did protect them quite an awful lot, and maybe and should protect the youngsters a bit more than he does. But look, if you're good enough, you're old enough. It's the old saying. You know, you're good enough, you're old enough.
I think I said that actually in the show. You know, if you're good enough, you're old enough. But I mean, you know, I support a team, you know, where we're proud of our youth academy and bringing people through. But it's all about managing your youth. You can't just throw them in and expect them, you know, to be world beaters and everything. And I wanted to say this in the watch along, but I didn't because I thought, you know, I'll wait because I was going to bring it up in the chat actually. Maddison obviously didn't have the best of games.
No.
Do you think Maddison is seriously concerned that he's going to lose his place? Because he got brought in as one of Ange's big signings and he was pretty much solidified. But now this Bergval's come in and he looks like he is going to be, you know, one of the better players in the Spurs team. I mean, he looked really good today. I think Maddison is seriously concerned that he's going to get dropped by Ange for Bergval.
The thing is with that, Com, is that you got to remember that obviously I know you're a United fan, so maybe, but so Derma, I'm sure you'll remember this. That when more or less immediately after Maddison came in, he was lumped with a lot of responsibility because he became part of that 3-man kind of captaincy with Sonny and Romero and Maddison. So right away, Ange more or less gave him the keys to the kingdom to a certain degree, right? Alongside, like I say, Sonny and Romero. So you're right, Com, in what's saying that maybe he's starting to feel the pressure. Maybe he's scared. Not only is he going to lose his place, but this responsibility that he was given pretty much right out of the door. This is what I mean. So Romero and Sonny had been at the club a couple of, well, Sonny obviously a lot longer than Romero, but Romero had been at the club a couple of years. But Maddison was given these keys to the kingdom right away, as soon as he came in, right out of the door, and said, hey, okay, you're part of this 3-man captaincy group that I'm going to have. So I think you're right. You could be onto something. He's scared of his place, and also he'll be scared of losing influence as well. Because if he's going to be losing his place, then can he be part of this 3-man controlling captaincy group that he was made of?
I still think he can, but I do agree with Colin where Bergville can take his place. I think he should be worried because his performances have not been up to scratch. He had a good start to the season last season. He got injured and then it just tapered away. I think Bergville was a bit more consistent than Maddison. Maddison didn't do anything today to make me think he's back to where he was at the start of last season in any way, shape or form. He hasn't had any Euros to worry about. He's had his time to rest. He's been back in pre-season since day one. And there isn't any suggestion to me that Maddison's coming in on good form. A lot of the players now, I don't get it. I really don't, because I thought Maddison was a better player. He was one of the players I always wanted to Tottenham because of the way he played at Leicester. He's more of a luxury player. He's one of these players that can change a game on the sixpence if he puts his mind to it. But I think Bergville will come in, and I think Bergville will replace him. And don't be surprised if he doesn't. He will start against Leicester, Maddison. But don't be surprised if he starts performing badly. Bergville will take his place. And can I just add, how much talent has that kid got? He again, he's another young lad. We shouldn't get ahead of ourselves.
No.
But that lad has got bags of talent. He really does.
I think with Maddison, Dermo, I think he's lost his confidence. He did well. He had that injury. He couldn't recapture his form, and then I think he fully expected to go to the Euros, and of course he made it to the provisional team, and then was cut at the last minute. That probably bummed him out, really. And then there's a reaction. There's two ways you can react: either you buff your ideas up and you try harder, or you go more into a funk. And it looks like, unfortunately, he might have gone more into a funk.
Yeah. We've got Hot God 10 here saying Maddison just needs a good run of games under his belt. Form is temporary, class is permanent.
I've never rated Maddison. I don't think he's that good.
No, I know you haven't.
I don't think he's as good as people think he is. Honestly, I don't. At all.
Tequila, where are you on that?
I mean, I do think he's got that in him, but before we signed him, like I said, I will always remember, I think one of the, it might have been David Clark or something in the chat. David from Leicester warned us all and said, look, this is a player who blows hot and cold significantly. He will have runs where he will infuriate people, and then he'll have runs where you'll love him. So we've seen both sides in his first year. So
yeah. What's the point? Look, please, if you're going to come in the comments, all right, don't mind just starting off with it. That's fine. But please put in sensible comments from now on. Okay, I'm trying to do a serious show. We're trying to do a serious channel. I don't mind having a laugh and joke. But would you stop spanning the chat with nonsense? If you've got something to say about the game or the players, please put it in and we'll discuss it. But all this and then what you've just put in, please stop. It's really annoying me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just it just really annoys me. I'm sorry. We've got Jazz Fusion here. Leicester is a walkover. Their entire attack has been ruled out for the game. Tequila, do you think we should be worried about Leicester? Do you think it's a walkover, or do you think we should take them a bit more seriously?
I wouldn't say it's a walkover, but I do expect it's most likely to get the W.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be a walkover, no.
Yeah. Look, I'm sorry, guys. I said what I said about what's the point FC, but I hope you can understand why I said it.
Right. Frustrated, you know.
He's reacted okay. He said, "Okay, mate." That's fine. It's all good, dude. Don't worry.
Yeah, I don't mind the joke now and again, but it's just we try to run the series channel here. There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of other Spurs channels, and you guys know what it's like. We try to compete, and we're only a small channel, so we're trying our best. And I'm just trying to be a bit more serious this season, I think.
Big up to Dan Davin. Yeah.
This man's a legend, Tequila. He's been on a few fan shows. This fella, if you're feeling down, right, or upset,
he's a good dude.
This fella would bring. He's like KVP. He'll put a smile in your face. So big up to Dan. He says, "Hey Dermot, big up to you, and big up to you, Tequila."
Hey, Dan.
Tequila, you are loved. You're loved on this channel.
I know Dan. I've seen Dan in plenty of chat rooms. Tell us, what did you think of the game today, Dan, mate? What did you think?
Yeah, let us know, Dan. Out of 10, what would you give today? I'm just saying, I was saying to Tequila earlier, Colin, that he is loved in the chat, isn't he? People love him on this channel.
Yeah.
Thank you,
we all love him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
about
can be-
tequila. Oh, no, we hate tequila.
I can be a sarcastic, you know what? So I know that I have that.
What
in me.
about F1? Dan, that is coming, isn't it, Colin, on the Full-Time Sports Network? When the F1 was there, I'm doing a half an hour show, aren't I? After every race on the Full-Time Sports Network.
Yes, you are.
Which is cool,
so yeah, make sure you go over there and check that out because Dermot's going to do a fantastic job on that. Sorry, I just want to say as well, don't rule out Leicester. Leicester have made a very, very good loan signing.
Yeah, they have actually.
They've got
also,
Buonanotte from Brighton.
Yeah, a bit of breaking news we got from our source guys is that let me get it, that we might be in for Kyle Walker-Peters again, who left us to go to Southampton. Now we could be coming back again. Tequila, what do you think to that? Is it you that's giggling?
Only, yeah. Only at Spurs. That's my reply. Only at Spurs. Only at Spurs do we get rid of these players. I mean, I guess United did it with Pogba, which was pretty funny as well. No offense, Com. But only twice, and only at Spurs really do we bring back Marcus Edwards, who apparently that's another rumor. Kyle Walker-Peters. I mean, only at Spurs, isn't it? That's why I can't help it. I just giggle. Sorry, guys. Quite funny.
What do you think to that, Colin?
I
don't know what I've done.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I know why you would go back for him because obviously he covers right and left back.
Just look at Daniela's post. Sorry, Con. Just look at Daniela's post. That's everything.
And when you sold him, you did put a buyback clause in his contract. So, 30 million, I think will be the going rate. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, it would be interesting. It would be. I mean, Tequila, look, okay, then. Well, that's actually a very good point to go on to the Ange and the transfer window so far. Look, we've bought Solanke, which you're not keen on, which I get your point on that. And he did. The 3 players who we bought today were introduced to the crowd and they got a good reception. I think what didn't help was Harry Kane coming out at the same time. So you don't know if they were clapping for Harry Kane or they were clapping for our 3 new signings. But out of the 3 who we've bought in, who are you more excited to see?
Just so I understand the 3 we're talking about Bergville, not Timo Werner, right? Or Timo Werner not included in the 3 kind of thing. Name me the 3 you're on about, basically. Not Timo Werner's not being included in this, right?
No. It's Bergville, Archie Gray,
yes. Okay.
and Solanke.
I thought that's who you mean. I would say 2 out of the 3, which actually for most transfer windows, if you get 2 out of 3 right, it's normally pretty good. Of course, the problem is that the one that I don't agree with is the one that costs 65 million. Sorry, 57. My bad.
Will he grow in you, do you think? If he starts well, will he grow in you? Do you want to be proven wrong? Or
I've said that right. Well, of course, I'm a Spurs fan. Of course I do. Why would I not? Why would I want anyone who I mean, without bringing up all the stuff to do with the whole City and Spurs thing, right? I don't understand that mindset enough. Well, why would I want our team to do well just so I personally can be proven right? Believe it or not, folks, my ego isn't that big. So I hope I'm dead wrong about Solanke. And if so, like I said to David Shear, I'll come on at the end of the season if he gets his 19 goal. Look, he hasn't got to get 19. If he gets 15, I consider that decent enough, right? My fear is that he's another Richarlison and he'll get low double digits, which for 50 to 60 million is not a good ratio for me, which Richarlison has proved, So to answer your question, Dermo, I'll be more than thrilled if he repeats his Bournemouth form. I'll be more than happy.
So out of the 3, who excites you the most then?
Bergville.
What about Bergville excites you? What do you like about him?
I see some modders in him, and you know how much I love Luka Modric. I see some modders in him with a much bigger frame. So modders, of course, at the start was lightweight, but he had to adapt and ended up, because he's so bloody good, that he did adapt to the Premiership and was able to not be knocked off the ball, something like Brian Gill couldn't manage to do. But Bergville doesn't have to worry about that anywhere near as much because he's a much bigger guy. So he'll handle the physical side much better. But the way he moves the ball, the way he kind of shields the ball and controls the ball, I see some modders in him. I hope he's got a better shot than Modders, because Modders was the weakest part of Modders' game. was he didn't have a particularly good shot on him. So hopefully he's got a better shot than Modders. I'm very excited for the kid. But again, like Com said, let's slow our rolls. Let's not expect him to become a world beater in his first season.
Do you know who he reminds me of? And I hope Hot God 10 in the chat will agree with me, and I hope some people do. I was thinking of it today, and I was watching the game in a second. He reminds me of a very young Glenn Hoddle.
That's high praise. Yeah.
And the balance and the way he controls a game. I mean, out of the tree we've got, Colin, from outside looking in, you being a Premier League fan, you're a Man United fan, so you're a Premier League fan. Who do you think out of the three is going to adapt to the Premier League quicker? After
Bergvall.
3 new signings we bought.
Bergvall, yeah. Mate, he looks like such a good talent. So I know he's raw because he's only young and everything, but my God, if he can find his feet in this Premier League this season, then I think you've got potentially, like I said, let's not rush into things and call him the next like Pele or whatever. But you've got a top quality player there. Like I was watching some of his stuff, obviously today in the watch along, and parts of his game, yes, it needs improvement because, like I said, he's only young. But it reminded me slightly. I know you've said Glenn Hoddle with him, but I was watching and I watched him and I linked him to a slightly, more current player. But he looked a lot to me like when Ronaldo joined Manchester United.
Yeah,
that's high praise as well. These are all high praise we're given.
Well, yeah.
The control on the ball, he's fearless. He'll run at people. I mean, that
balance
little pass
as well.
he played. Yeah, the balance. Yeah. The little pass he played as well for that, the assist. Things like that. Ronaldo were doing this when he joined United, and it seems like Bergvall's doing it for you guys now. And I think you've got a really, really good player there. You just need to monitor his development.
Here's a question a little bit then, guys. Where do you think is he a 10 or is he an 8? Where do you think he eventually ends up? Do you put him further back or do you put him behind the striker kind of thing?
No, I put him right behind striker. Yeah, same striker, down strike. Yeah, because I think he's going to unlock quite a few defenses. Because, like I said, his vision is unbelievable. People don't see passes that he played today, which I think is very, very good. And I just want to say as well, before you move on, Dermo, this is not about Bergvall or anything. I just want to say my respect for Harry Kane has actually gone up quite a lot.
Yeah.
Because he actually refused to lift or touch the trophy today.
Really?
So my respect for him.
I didn't know that.
He did.
He refused. That's why he wasn't there when they were all there on the podium. He never went up for it.
Interesting.
See, that for me shows he has got, and I did see that, and I thought Eric Dyer. I don't know if Eric Dyer was up there. I think he was.
Nobody cares about Eric Dyer, don't they?
No, but the point I'm making, Eric Dyer is an idiot. Harry Kane is a class act, and he knows he's coming back to Spurs. I think Harry Kane will end his career at Tottenham.
No, I could see that.
I don't think he will. I don't think he will.
I think he will. I think.
Do you not think he's going to come back to the Premiership? Though he'll come back to the Premiership.
I think he wants to break Alan Shearer's record. I think that's one thing he does.
I don't think he's going to be able to. I don't think he's going to be able to. He's going to be too old.
But that showed he had class today. I mean, if you want to start at the bottom, just bring up some of the chats.
Yeah, I was literally about to do that. Yeah, let's bring up this one first, and I'll go back. Lose to your music saying Harry Kane is world-class act and he rejected lifting the trophy at the Bayern Munich captain in front of the Spurs fans. Yeah, I mean, I think Harry Kane always has had that. He's always been Spurs. I know, he's an Arsenal fan, but he stayed way longer than he had to. I think that's fair. Let's be honest, he did. He stayed at least 2 seasons longer than probably he. You can say that he wanted to go to City, and I think that he did want to go to City. But he still did stay after that. He stayed for another seasons after that. So he probably didn't have to. Okay.
Yeah.
Dan Davenport. Yeah, Dan. Dan Davenport saying, I expect us to sign 2 or 3 more players before the window shuts. Like who, Dan? Let us know. For duck's sake, this club, FFS, we know exactly what you mean, Daniela. And kind of agree. Recycle FC, yes, that's a good one too. Just Fusion agrees with us as well. We've all said Bergville, which is interesting. Just Fusion saying, look at Dom as a cog in the wheel. I can think of other things to call him, but I'll be polite. Hodgod 10, Bergville has a WO. Am I missing what you mean by that, Hodgod?
But Bertha has wonderful balance. He did put down the bottom there.
Okay, wonderful balance. Okay. Just Fusion, Lucas plays with a fearlessness that believes his age. I agree.
Yeah.
Hodgod saying, not much witness in this game apart from experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Hodgod saying, high praise indeed, Dermo. That was your Glenn Hoddle reference, I think. He has a bit of everything, doesn't he? He likes to do the dirty work as well and get stuck in. Well, that's why I was wondering if he's an 8 and not a 10, because he doesn't mind getting stuck in. Just Fusion also saying again, advanced 8 in his system. Yeah, I think I agree. Loose Chills music again. Harry Kane is world class. Yeah, we've read that one, sorry. And Just Fusion saying, as long as Levy is at the club, he would never consider returning. You may be right, Jazz. You may be right
I'm
about
just
that.
seeing Harry Kane now. The chance he's given the armband to one of the Bayern, and you can see him. He keeps shaking his head. No, I'm not going. They're trying to convince him. I'm not doing it. I'm not going up there. I'm not. No. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. I'm not. And do you know that speaks volume about Harry Kane? As much as Harry Kane's probably. He is our generation's Jimmy Greaves. His generation. I never did get to ask Philip the question, so I'm going to ask you guys. I'm going to get the quote up for the end of the stream, which will be ending soon. I'll get you guys to ask the question. But Harry Kane today showed what a class act he is, and no matter where he goes or what he does, for me, he'll always be a Tottenham legend. He is a legend. Legend gets banded about quite a lot. Today, he just cemented he's a Tottenham legend for me. I know
that we're all a little bit not bitter. I don't think bitter is the right word. We're all a little bit. We are disappointed that he never won anything with us.
Yeah.
We're all disappointed, at least the majority of us fans, to see him go. But anyone who really says that he wasn't a legend because he didn't win cups with us, is that a requirement to being a legend? I don't think it is. I think a legend is a personal thing to us and what he meant to us.
I think it is in a way, but it isn't. I mean, what would you say to that, Colin?
I don't think you have to win stuff to be a legend.
No.
To be honest with you, I mean, my local club, we've just re-signed a player called Billy Sharp, who played for Sheffield United in the Premier League. He played for us once before, and we consider him a legend, because he did so much for us, and now he's come back, and he's still there. We've got another one called James Coppinger. He retired. He's a legend. We've not won any. We've won leagues, but we're talking about Conference, League One, and League Two.
Yeah.
But they are legends, and they've never really won any big trophies. So I don't think you have to win a trophy to be a legend. And I'd agree. I think Harry Kane is a Spurs legend.
Yeah, he is. He is.
I don't think you can dispute it, Dermo. I mean, if Harry Kane isn't a legend with the amount of goals and having the goals, then what is it you have to do to become a legend at your club? If Harry Kane isn't, I would like somebody to tell me.
Yeah.
What Kane would have to do, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is all about. Well, maybe the bottom line is for some people he didn't win anything, and it's as simple as that. Maybe that is the marker. I don't agree with that, but maybe it is for some people.
Listen, I want to talk a little bit very quickly. I just want to move away from the match just very quickly, guys, just to give you a little bit more of an update. For the last, say, 4 or 5 months, we've been talking on this channel about some sort of a takeover at Tottenham, either being somebody buying a majority shares at Spurs, or there's been talk of a full takeover, or there was talks last night. I saw one article of a 15% takeover where people are going to come in and invest within Tottenham and do it how ENIC did it with Tottenham. How ENIC started with Spurs was when Alan Sugar and Trent Venables saved the club. They were one of the backers, and they just kept buying shares and more shares and more shares till they bought Alan Sugar out in 2001. But there is talk of an investment. Now, who this company is, we don't know, and we still don't know, and we probably will find out. Could be a combination of anyone. But what I got given last night was an investment is aimed to be completed by the end of the year. So we're looking at the end of this year, beginning before the January transfer window. We're looking at somebody to come in to buy either 15% or a minority of the Spurs of Tottenham. Now, just very quickly on this, Tequila, you're on Levy out, on which I'm not trying to dig you out or anything.
Okay.
You're very. I'm not trying to paint you. I'm trying to find a better
Boo,
way.
Levy, boo, boo, Levy, boo.
Boo
It's fine.
tequila.
Boo,
Yeah.
tequila, evil
Boo
man.
He's the
Tequila.
pantomime.
Now,
He's the pantomime villain.
Now,
And all
if
that
somebody was to come in, just very quickly on this, and then we end off with somebody's asked a question about our first 11. We will discuss that, and also we're gonna rate preseason as well. And Colin, you can rate Man United's preseason as well. We will include that.
0.
Yeah, I've got a higher rating for us. Tequila, if somebody was to come in like they did at Manchester United and bought the football inside, and Levy stayed on the business side, would that appease you?
If our transfer strategy changed, see what I mean by that is that if Levy still had the power over the transfer strategy.
Look what happened at United. So Jim Ratcliffe's come in. He's bought the football inside the United.
So who decides how much we spend? I guess is what I'm asking.
Jim Ratcliffe.
Under this scenario.
Am I right in that column? I just want to get this right.
No.
Right.
The Glazers have final say, basically, but they don't have anything to do with the players that they're going for and stuff like that. They set the budget still.
The budget's still set. Okay, so under that, using that, then no, probably not, because I think Levy, in my opinion, only, I think Levy is risk assertive, and that works well in business. But I think that sometimes he isn't prepared to go the extra mile. I'm thinking of when Harry Redknapp asked him for those players and other examples. I think that he is risk assertive in his business, and it works well. But I think for football, there's been opportunities that we haven't taken, and I think that we've suffered because of that. Like when we didn't buy any players in that transfer window. Either Poch was another example.
3 seasons? 3 windows we didn't buy.
Yeah,
there is going to be a pre-record. Me and Tequila are going to do one. We're going to rate the window. We're going to talk about and I have to say, Tequila is very fair in his assessments on how he comes across on this matter. He's very fair. He's very balanced. He's very understanding of the situation. He's very I won't call him a Levy outer. I call him Levy down the middle. He will criticize Levy if he needs criticizing, and he will praise Levy if he needs praising. And I think if everyone was like Tequila, and I hope you take this as the way it's meant, Tequila, if everyone was like you and had your sort of balanced view in it all, I think everyone would be a lot better than how some people are. I think you can go to the extreme in one way, or you can go to the extreme in the other. And I find you a very balanced individual on this matter. So I can have a debate with you, and I can have a fair and honest debate with you, but it doesn't go into gutter level. And that's what I like about you. So please,
thank you, Demo. And
anyone in the comments or in the chat, please respect Tequila's opinion. He's part of this channel. He's part of what we're trying to build here at THFC till I die. He's part of what we're trying to build as a whole network of channels under the Full Time Sports Network, under our other channel, the European Football Network till I die. We're trying to build a brand here. So people, respect Tequila's opinion. Respect him in the chat. Respect him in the comments. Respect him if he's in another show. Because Tequila is one of the few people that can be very balanced in a Levy discussion. And he's very kind with his comments. He's very balanced with his comments. And he's very constructive with his comments. So please, everyone, respect what he has to say. Because if anyone starts coming in and being nasty to him, There's a 1-2 rule policy, and this goes for anyone on this channel. You get timed out and you get banned. Respect every people on this channel, and I respect you, Colin, and you, Tequila, but more you, Tequila, because you and me've talked off screen about about all of this.
Yeah, no, it's
and I feel you deserve more respect, and people should respect you for who you are and what you bring forward. So I hope people do. But if somebody doesn't, and we find it's being disrespectful to anybody on this channel, you'll get timed out and then you will get banned. There is no policy. We're all Spurs fans at the end of the day. Even Colin, who's a Man United fan, comes on here. He's a football fan at the end of the day. Let's all just be nice on this channel. We're not like any other channels. It's a community message. It's a message I will be banging out all season. Let's respect the people, because we put a lot of work into our shows.
And most of our let me just add that most of the people who come in and talk to us are like that. As Rosie said, respect all around, and I appreciate the comment as well. Hod God's right as well. So no, I appreciate it, Demo. Thanks. And like I say, most of it is fine. You get the occasional one who causes trouble, but most of us are all respectful of each other.
I just wanted to put it out there, Colin, as well, because I do feel it's a very taboo subject, isn't it? You're either going to be one way or the other. You can have a balanced argument. I suppose you've had the same with the Glazers as well, isn't it? You can have a balanced argument and the conversation about it without getting nasty, can't you?
You can. It's a very difficult thing to do because obviously, like you said, you're either majority one way or majority other. It's very difficult to be down the middle. And I know this channel is very down the middle. You know, we let everybody have their say on things. And it's exactly the same, like you said, with me and the Glazers. I mean, I'm completely Glazers out, but I've had people on shows with me that are Glazers in because they don't think they're doing a bad job. And, you know, you just have to learn to listen and respect and communicate with each other. There's no point shouting or swearing or calling people names, because what is that actually going to solve? It's not going to do anything. Just have a nice debate about it.
So that I mean, Tequila, I was wondering, I had that in my head to say tonight, and this is why I haven't told you I was going to say it.
No, I didn't know you knew. I appreciate it, though, Demo. Thanks. I do appreciate it. Makes me feel good.
And everyone, please just respect, because everyone does their bit, and I think it goes. I mean, we have it in our channel that we expect everyone to respect. We respect you, so we hope you respect us. And we've had a few knobheads coming in, especially that one troll, which really upset me. And I have to say, Colin and Tequila and Philip as well, but Colin and Tequila, you really picked me up when I was down during them days. And Colin, you know what you did, and I'm thankful for you as well as you, Tequila.
Yes.
So,
be afraid.
We won't
be
go
very
into
afraid.
Yeah, but let's put it this way: he's made me want to play one game on the Xbox.
Damn right. Can I just quickly reply to Milton, because he has put a comment in?
Yeah.
This one. That's up here, mate.
Okay.
The defending language barrier. Can't use that as an excuse because Dragerson can speak very, very good English. So I'm not sure.
Well, there we are then, I guess. Yeah.
He's in the house.
Dun dun dun.
He's about to
he thinks it's look at the ego on Carl. He thinks it's about him.
I know.
Main character energy.
Cheers to him. I am not that bad. Look at the ego.
I know.
He's got main character energy, hasn't
he? Yeah. He's like the Iron Man of our. He's like Tony Stark of our group. I mean, he's got such an ego. Anyway. Pardon?
I was Tony Stark earlier. What's going on here? I've been demoted.
Yeah, you've been changed.
This is the multiverse. No, what it is that you're both Robert Downey Jr. One of you is Iron Man. The other one's going to be Dr. Doom. You decide which one you want to be.
Carl Simpson's Dr. Doom. We leave you as Tony Stark. I haven't broken to you yet, but you're Black Widow, Tequila.
I wouldn't mind being with Black Widow.
Can we quickly go back to football before we start getting on?
She can come visit me anytime she wants. Yeah, you better leave it there. I need to go in the dark room. Hell yeah. Especially in Iron Man 2 with the suit.
As Gotti would say to Captain Kirk, you cannot give any more.
Can it
Oh,
give any more?
what has this stream turned to, really?
I don't know.
Come on, guys.
Listen, we had a starred message from Hot God 10, so we tried to we do this. Dermot, what first 11 would you field against Leicester? Right. So Tequila, I'm gonna do mine. I'll let you do yours, but me and Tequila are going to do a pre-match, and we are, aren't we, this week? We're going to come together, I think, Wednesday or Thursday. We're going to put out a pre-predicted lineup show. I need to speak to Colin because we're trying to come up with a new graphic for it, so I'm trying to see how it's going to work. But I think, Tequila, if you and me are working together, if I do the back four, you do the midfield, and I do the front three. So are you quite all right with that?
No.
I guess. I mean, we play a 4-2-3-1, so
yeah. So
right.
Okay, so the back five is going to be the back five, isn't it? It's going to be Vicario, Porro, Van de Ven, Romero, Destiny. So there's your back five. Who do you play as the two sitting midfielders? Papa Sarr would have to be one for me.
Well, we're using Ange's system. I mean, Ange doesn't particularly see. I'd play one defensive midfielder, and that would be not. I wouldn't play a really. I would play 1 6 and 2 8s, but I don't really consider Maddison an 8. He's meant to be a 10, so it's a difficult one. We need to buy another. But who do we play? I mean, this is what I mean. I don't think we have someone I really think's great. 6.
Okay, then. How about ZD's put in? I have Bentancur over Sarr.
I mean, Bentancur keeps the ball really well, but you wouldn't say that he's got that kind of defensive destroyer thing you really want.
It's not Papa Sarr does for me.
Okay, Dermot, let me ask you, who's the best ball winning midfielder we've got? Who's the best tackler? There you go. Who's the best tackler out of our midfield?
I would have to go for Papa Sarr. Colin?
Okay.
Scott McTominay.
Oh God, we knew that.
Don't try and pawn him on us again, or makes him mad. You can keep them.
Just be sensible for once in your life.
I'm willing it into existence. You see.
I know you
are. It's an hard one, to be fair.
Oliver Skip? Is it Skippy? Would you say?
What? Skippy's got a bit of fight about him, you know.
He played well in the second half today, to be fair to him.
Is Skippy a 6?
I think he's more of a 6 than he is an 8.
He is, actually, to be fair.
Because he hasn't got, you wouldn't say he's a particularly great passer of the ball, and he's not that creative. He's got good work rate and likes to win the ball back.
Carl's just gone in. Can I just say, Colin, sorry, Carl's just gone in a completely different direction altogether.
Yeah, well, that's Carl for you. But, you know, you have got the thing, and Zeddy has put it in, you know, physically, Skippy's not there yet.
Yeah.
He's a small dog, and he's got a lot of fight in him, but physically he's not there. It's a really difficult one. It really is. You know, honestly, if I'd experiment, I'd try Dragerson there.
That's not a bad shout, actually.
Yeah. He's a big, tall guy, isn't he? So
yeah.
We'd have to go and buy another kind of quality centre half then, if you were.
Well, I tell you, this is Louis Chu's start for Leicester. Vicario, Porro, Romero, Van de Ven, Destiny, Archie Gray, Papa Sarr, Bergville, Johnson, Son, and Solanke.
I mean, Archie Gray, maybe Archie Gray is a long-term answer to that, but I don't know if you can just throw the. I mean, we had this conversation earlier about throwing the kids in the deep end, but I don't know. Would you give Archie Gray? Would you give Archie Gray a shot, defensive midfield? It seems a big responsibility for the kid.
Yeah,
but
it's massive. I mean, games are won and lost in the midfield. Do you want to put that?
Yeah.
I know, like
not really. No, not really. I don't want to.
This is what
Johnson,
I mean.
I don't want to.
There's I know there's the occasional people that have done really well, aka Mainu. He's done fantastically well, but that's just sheer luck that it's turned out that way. Yes, he's got ability and talent, but you don't know if that's going to actually transition onto the pitch. It's a big ask to put a youth player in a very pivotal position.
Yeah, there's. I mean,
I think the answer, Dermo, after like mulling it over, I think I agree with you. I think Sarr seems to be the most suited. I'm not saying he's certainly not the perfect for it, but out of our current midfield, this is why we need to get somebody in.
Yeah.
I think Sarr probably. I'd give Sarr a run of games there, a proper run of games, not 1 or 2 games, right? A proper run of games, and see if he can do it.
Sorry, Tequila. Big up to the one person that's brought it back up to 892 again. Thank you very much. Very kind.
Thank you. Yeah.
We've got Zeddy Button, Vicario, Porro, Romero, Van de Ven. The back 5 sort of sorts itself out. He's gone for Zuma, Bentancur, Madison, Son, Solanke, Johnson. We need to sign another winger. We have got a pre-record coming out on that next week as well. Me and Tequila are going to do a few pre-records for you guys about this. So we've got a few ones coming up. So watch out for them. They're going to be about, 10 minutes long, 10, 15 minutes long, Tequila? Not that long, aren't they? But there are
they're going to be like little mini shows, I suppose. Just little mini shows. A lot of people seem to be saying give Gray a shot. Yeah, I don't know if you can. Like I say, maybe Sarr and then see how he does, and Gray maybe you can bleed into it. See how he does.
Carl Simpson's just completely just talk nonsense as always. I mean, I don't know what he's drinking.
Yeah,
I mean, he's gone for.
I'm seeing something here, Dermo. It's constant. I've seen it every single team that's come up so far. No Kulu.
Apart from Carl. Carl's put Decky in.
No, yeah, he's put Decky in.
Yeah, he's put Decky in. Yeah.
I want to say
because he put Decky instead of Kulu.
Yeah, I want to say big up to Danny Darko Spurs. Big up, Danny. He says, "Oi, oi, coys! I popped over from the flat crap crew. Do you think Vic cost us a draw in both games? Big up, panel. Very quickly because we wanted to get this to an hour, but we're just over. So
let me quickly give you the midfield. I still haven't given you. So probably Sarr, and then Bentancur, and I suppose Madison, though that could easily be Bergvall.
And then my front 3 will be Brennan Johnson, Dominic Solanke, and Sonny.
Yeah.
I think. Look, I think Vicario is doing what he's doing. I think Colin made a very good point that I think it's not Vicario's fault. I think it's more the player's fault where he was who he's passing to. So I don't think Vicario can be blamed. I think it was Basuma's fault today. I didn't see the game last week because I was in hospital with my back.
Yeah.
So I can't really comment on it. Tequila, you watched it. So was it the same thing as today, do you think, guys? But his short game does need work a little bit. I would agree with that. But I think he's a lot better than Hugo Lloris.
I think, he needs work. He's not as bad as Hugo. No, I think that's fair.
But big up, Danny. Thank you very much for subscribing. Please hit the notification bell. An absolute legend on the flat cap world and really decent. He always puts in good comments. So big up to you as well.
Big up,
welcome
mate.
to the big Luchary Music Basuma is 2 area prone for me. Yeah, look, I'm gonna do a pre-record this week on Basuma. I've had enough of him. I want him sold. I've had enough of Basuma. And not everyone is going to agree with me on that.
Don't let Phil hear you say that. Damn it.
I don't care. I just want to. I'm not impressed with them at all. Gray could be our DM for the future. He has a lot to his game, but how much will he play? I don't know. We've got Zeddy. Don't blame Vic. He's asked to do that when we have a Solanke as striker. Maybe he'll chip it to him as an option. Maybe so. We've got. This is Boris. Big up Boris. This is his team.
Yeah, Boris.
Vicario, Porro, Destiny, Romero, Mickey, Bentancur, Sarr, Kulu, Solanke, Son, and Johnson would be. Yeah, totally. I think a lot of people would agree with that. Thank
Boris,
you so
can
much.
I just ask Boris, who's he playing in defensive midfield? Is he putting Sarr or is he putting Bentancur in defensive midfield?
I think he's putting Bentancur, in my opinion.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is.
No.
Keelan and Colin, do you want to say anything to Danny? He says hit the sub and like. Do you want to say anything? He's a legend anyway. But do you guys want to say
Comes
anything?
from the flat cap. Yeah, big up, Danny. Nice to see you here, bruv. Hope you stick around. Come join us. We're all nice here, most of us.
Yeah. Colin, do you want to say to Danny? Thank him very much, though.
Yeah,
Thanks, man.
Thank you, Danny. Always happy to talk rubbish to another fan of the channel, so I'm more than happy to oblige. But no, yeah, massive thank you anyway, buddy.
Yeah, and Boris says, yeah, Lulu's starting defensive midfield, considering he did an amazing job. And he did amazing on the friendly. Guys, just a quick answer on this, then we're going to end off. Rating the preseason. Tequila, how much are you rating it out of 10?
Like cutting it in half, really. Before the buy-in, it was pretty high, but I'll go with a 6. I think we got the fitness, which is what the most important thing is. So,
are we prepared for the season?
No, because we took too long on some of the signings. Okay. Solanke's not even played a game with us yet, and he's our big signing of the window, so he hasn't even had a chance to play any preseason with us. That's
very fair. Colin, what do you reckon for you? I mean, I know you're a Man United fan, but a fan, what do you rate our preseason? And Man United's as well out of 10.
Yeah, I'd put your preseason around a 5. I think you needed some of these signings to come in a little bit earlier, so you get minutes in the legs. For United's perspective, I'm going to go with 2. Simply because, you know, we've made these signings, and that once again, it's the curse of Manchester. They're bloody out injured again. Yoro's not available until September now. So, yeah, fantastic stuff.
For me, I'm going to be a bit more optimistic. I think Tequila's been feeling that I haven't been back to my
Demo, you've not been as deluded as normal. We're all very worried about you.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10 for pre-season. I think we're really better prepared for this season than we were last season. I think the players are better prepared. We're going to turn up at Leicester and we're going to smack them 5-0. I feel a 5-0's coming. I do.
Delusional Dermo's back.
The quad is on.
That didn't take long, did it?
No,
the quad is on. I'm telling you, the quad is on, guys. It's here.
Demo, we've already won 1 cup. What one was it again?
We won. We are the World Challenge champions. What more can you want?
I mean, the only quad that's on at Tottenham is the one that they use to come and bring players on and off when they're injured. That is the only quad that is on.
But the time we get to the FA Cup, that it would only be the double. But at the moment, the quad is on.
Love it.
Anyway, 6 out of 10 for Milton. Big up, Milton. Put in the comments your out of 10 for pre-season, actually. I'll really be interested. Solanke for the hat-trick. Yeah, Carl, big up. Carl's put his... Yeah, if anyone doesn't know, if Solanke scores a hat-trick on his debut for Spurs, Colin will pick a subscriber and buy them a Tottenham shirt for the new season. But me and Tequila can't enter it. I think we'll bribe them. What do you reckon? What do you reckon?
Fair, man. Why not? I wouldn't mind a shirt. Why can't I get a shirt?
Yeah.
65 quid is yours.
Danny said, is Solomon dead to us? I think that's another little pre-record on Solomon as well, Tequila, we can do. Do you know? I think that's that's a good pre-record as well. He's supposed to be going out on loan, but that's another...
in hindsight, it seems very strange signing after all, doesn't it?
See? Everyone's with me. Milton said, you must believe the quad is on. Of course it is. The quad,
like I said, go switch it off. Go switch the quad off. It's wasting petrol.
I'm in, says Danny. He's in for the quad. I'm not into it. I'm not in.
Those electric bills are high nowadays, don't they? You don't want to keep it on.
I like the players, says Danny. Solomon will be gone, I reckon, by Monday. And Lo Celso, oh, please, Lo Celso, go. The day Lo Celso leaves the club, I would do a live stream and celebrate.
Somebody clip that as well.
I thought you were going to say you would do a live stream naked for a second.
Yeah,
and I was
when
like,
Richie,
no, we want to see that.
Don't clip that. Don't clip that.
When is Richie back? Hopefully soon. Well, I will find out for you, Milton. Listen, guys, thank you so much for watching. This was the Tottenham Bayern Munich post-match show, the first one of the new 24-25 season. We will be coming on straight after the Leicester game as well, me and Tequila. This is going to be the new post-match team. So, Tequila, are you looking forward to this for the season? All the post-matches you and me are going to be doing together. It's going to be fun.
I'm always looking forward. It's a new season, and believe it or not, just because I might be a bit jaded in Dermo doesn't mean I don't get excited for the Spurs. I'm hoping.
Me, Tequila, you will get infected by Dermatron.
I already have been infected by Dermaton. I've tried taking medications for a bit. I don't know if it works.
That sounds so bad.
It did actually. I've just realised
I just realised it as well.
Clip it.
I just realised that's really bad.
It's worse than me saying the other day. I quite like. What did I say about a foursome? Did I say something about that?
Goodness.
I can't remember what I said now.
So far, in this podcast, we've had Tequila's dreams that he likes to have in his bedroom about Black Widow, and Dermo's infecting Tequila, and Tequila's already been infected, and medication won't work. Fantastic stuff.
I ain't gonna live that one down, am I? Thanks a lot, Dermo. Look at the trouble you get me in, Dermo. The trouble you get me in.
I tell you one thing. These shows are going to be fun after it. But no, we've got a new season. What we've got coming up this week, Tequila? Tell the people, because we've got a schedule, haven't we? So, do you want to put the schedule into the PDF for us column so we can bring it up so we can show people what's coming up?
No.
Well, we're going to end up this year. If stuff goes to plan, and in case you don't know, Dermo, he's having an operation, so there might be slight changes while he's out. But as much as we can, we're going to be doing a show every day. There's planned content.
Here is the new schedule. Monday, of course, you've got Boris and Phil doing the Monday show. Me and Tequila are back on Tuesday with the Tuesday show, and then it's Dermo, Boris, and us on Wednesday. This Wednesday, we are joined hopefully by the Irish Hotspur as well, as we do a pre-match build up for the Premier League. We're going to get everyone's predictions, where we're going to finish, who's going to win what cup. It's going to be a great show. I'm trying to get one fan from another team on, apart from Colin. So I'm hopefully Bobby might pop on for the Arsenal view, which would be fun.
I'm joking.
Yeah. Thursday, of course, it's me and Philip, of course, with the Thursday night show. Friday, of course, is the clock. Not cock.
Carl didn't even have to trick you into. Carl didn't even have to trick you into that one. You did that all by yourself, man.
Now, Saturdays and Sundays are going to be a little different. This is going up on the channel. It's going up on our Patreon as well. If we're playing on Saturday, then the pre-match will be Friday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday may be a bit changed around, but pre-matches are going to be all pre-recorded. So we'll be putting them out at different times for the games. Watch-alongs around the grounds on Saturday is back. Post-match, of course, will be live as well straight after the match. And then there will be another post-match pre-recorded on when me and Tequila go over the tactics. The team will get our team ratings as well. So we're going to do that as well as none of the show starting. And then Monday, Boris and Phil will be back with all the outpouring of the game of the weekend. Also, over on the European Football Network, we've got different stuff coming over there as well, guys. So please get over there and hit a like and subscription on the sister channel, where we cover all the rest of Europe and where all the internationals are going as well. And also on the 7th of September, please be ready for the greatest game the world has ever seen, as Ireland take England on in the Nations League. It is going to be one hell of a game. War will break out on this channel.
You're going to take one hell of a beating, Dermo. You're going to take one hell of a beating.
This channel will be divided between the Irish and the English on this channel. It's going to be a big barrier down the middle, because we know who's going to win.
Yes, we do.
England.
Get rid of him. Traitor. You're supposed to be Irish, you get.
I might be Irish, but I'm realistic.
Yeah, but you just be delusional on the Irish side. Hail Sligo Rovers tonight. Big win over Shells. That is a big result. And Carl Simpson says 1983. Here we go. On that bombshell, thank you all for watching. This has been Dermatron. This has been Tequila. This has been Colin. Come on, you Spurs. In Big Andrew trust. Just give us 2 seconds, Tequila. Now say your famous words.
Okay. Guys.